Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Happy watching.
The Bentley Continental GT has evolved at a gentle pace that matches its supremely relaxed driving experience. It is now 21 years since the first Volkswagen-era Continental GT was launched, a car that used a turbocharged 6.0-liter W12 making 552 horsepower to motivate its 5,250 pounds of mass. The revised 2012 version saw those numbers rise to 567 horses and 5,264 pounds. Then the substantially new third generation that launched in 2019 added power and subtracted weight, with the 626 horsepower W12 working against just 5,056 pounds. Now, more radical change arrives with the 2025 Continental GT, which Bentley describes as the fourth generation, despite continuing to share much of its core structure with its predecessor. The W12 engine is now dead, as is the less powerful, albeit more charismatic, V8 that previously understudied it. The new Conti GT Speed launches with a plug-in hybrid V8 powertrain that produces 771 horsepower. That figure makes it the most powerful road car that Bentley has ever produced, although it's also considerably heavier than its predecessor thanks to the additional mass of its sizable 25.9 kilowatt-hour battery. Bentley claims the new Continental GT Coupe weighs 5,421 pounds, with the GTC convertible being 390 pounds heavier. Despite the mechanical transformation, the new Continental GT is a heavy facelift of the outgoing version rather than an entirely new model. The official line is that 68% of components are new, but the official pictures show that the glazing is carried over, as are the fundamental proportions. Length has increased by 1.8 inches to 192.7 inches, but the 112.2-inch wheelbase is unchanged. The most distinctive new exterior design detail are headlights that now incorporate a linear running light element that passes beyond the oval lenses, which Bentley's official release describes as eyebrows. Doing this means the new Conti is the first road-going Bentley to have single headlamps since the 1950s. At the back the taillights are larger than before and now feature what is described as a three-dimensional diamond pattern. The outgoing Continental's interior always felt plenty special, and the fundamentals have not been radically altered with the generational shift. The digital instrumentation has been redesigned, but the center console seems to be unchanged, meaning physical switchgear for various dynamic functions as well as HVAC controls remain. As before, there will be the option of a rotating center display, one that moves between a 12.3-inch touchscreen, a trio of analog gauges, and a blank but beautiful piece of handcrafted veneer. New color and trim options include what is described as a dark chrome pack that will bring a more somber tone to the cabin. 3 different audio systems will be offered, with even the bass setup boasting 10 speakers and 650 watts. Above this are 2 upgrade options, a 16-speaker, 1,500-watt Bang & Olufsen system with illuminated speaker grills and an 18-speaker, 2,200-watt Naim setup. The Conti's most significant upgrade is definitely the one made to the powertrain. The new GT Speed combines the efforts of a twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8 that peaks at 584 horsepower, 42 horses more than the GT's outgoing V8, and is assisted by a 187 horsepower electric motor that sits between the gas engine and the 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, giving the system a combined 771 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. By itself, the electric motor can deliver up to 332 pound-feet. As before, all-wheel drive is standard, with an electronically controlled center differential to move effort between the axles. The substantial capacity of the onboard battery gives the new Continental serious electric-only range, although probably not quite as impressive as the 51 miles Bentley says it is targeting under the generally optimistic European WLTP test cycle. But even 50% of that figure would represent an improvement on Bentley's first plug-in hybrid powertrain, which debuted on the Bentayga but only provides 23 miles of range in EV mode. The new Continental is able to drive at speeds of up to 87 miles per hour using electricity alone. It can also recharge the battery while on the move, something the Bentayga PHEV cannot. However, it will still take nearly 3 hours to replenish the pack through the maximum charging rate of 11 kilowatts. Another advantage brought by the battery's rear-mounted location is improving the GT's static weight distribution. It's now 48:52 front to rear versus 55:45 on the old car. Other dynamic hardware seems to be mostly carried over. The Continental GT Speed will get air springs, dual-valve adaptive dampers, rear axle steering, and 48-volt anti-roll bars. Cast iron brakes are standard, with carbon ceramics available as an option. Beyond the additional weight, and doubtless added cost, of its folding roof, the Continental GTC has a slightly lower top speed than the coupe, being limited to 177 miles per hour. The hardtop has a claimed top speed of 208 miles per hour. Despite the difference in mass, Bentley claims it only takes the GTC 1/10 of a second longer to blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 3.2 seconds versus the coupe's 3.1 seconds. While the 2025 Bentley Continental GT is being launched with one powertrain, Bentley's use of speed branding, previously reserved for the W12 powered version, suggests that a slightly less powerful model may be launched beneath it. But based on the company's prior commitment to hybridize its entire range, we already know that any other Continental GT variant will also be a PHEV.
Thank you for subscribing and liking, commenting. See you in the next video.